Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. It's Friday again, as usual. I'm in my car on my way to go buy a suitcase because I'm leaving for Kenya for the next 3.5 weeks tomorrow morning, early morning. And typical me that I don't have a suitcase. I always, when I travel, I just pack a backpack because I don't really like bringing a lot of things. But because we are going to be doing volunteer work in Kenya for the next 3.5 weeks. I'm going to be coaching young women around mental health. I'm going to teach mindfulness. I'm going to teach basic sexual education there to young women in a rural area in Narok. And so we have tons of things that we want to bring for the women, for the young men, because Michael, my fiance, he's going to be doing soccer training with the guys. And so I need a suitcase. So I'm on my way to buy a suitcase, and I thought I literally did not plan to do a video today because I have about zero time. That's why I'm filming in the car. But I thought I have this car drive and I want to say a few things before I leave for the next few weeks because I probably won't make a video the next week and maybe the week after as well. I'll maybe try, but I can't promise anything. And I care about you guys, so I thought I wanted to share just a few words of wisdom, Robin's wisdom. And so what I wanted to talk to you today about is the power of acting against your instinct when you're trying to recover in mental health. So this is something that I've genuinely can see as like a red thread through any of my mental health challenges that I've had, like with my eating disorder, with my depression, with my anxiety, with my DPDR, is the power of being brave enough to radically act against what your anxiety pattern or what your mental disorder pattern wants you to do. So like with my eating disorder, my mind didn't want me to eat, so I had to eat. With my anxiety, my mind didn't want me to go outside and face the world, so I had to go outside and face the world. When depression, my brain wanted to do absolutely freaking nothing and stay inside, don't move my body, don't do anything. So guess what? What I had to do for my eating disorder, for my depression recovery, was to do exactly the opposite and go outside and do things. And so what I've realized in general is that the more power our disorder, I don't like that word, but I don't know what else to call it, has over us, the more we will be affected by it and the more we will actually keep struggling because of it. So it's kind of like you can be aware of the presence of something. For example, you can be aware of the presence of a nasty person in the room, or you can be aware of the presence of a bully in the classroom. But the less you listen to them and the less you care about them, the less power they have over you, and overall the smaller and smaller they start to become. And that's not to say that sometimes it's not important to really look at the root of why something is there and to create compassion for it, which is very, very important. Like when you're struggling with anxiety, it's important to sometimes really sit with that and think, where is this coming from and what's the root of this and how can I sit with that? But most of all, overall, it's so important to not let that part of you dictate your life. It's normal and human to go through challenges, to be experiencing anxiety, to be experiencing depression sometimes. That's very normal and very okay. However, how much we let that completely take over our actions and what we do is where the key to either moving forward and getting better or regressing backwards and getting worse is going to be. And the element in that is genuinely courage. Like the element that really triggers how much you will go forward or backwards is courage. There's someone behind me packing their car. I'm the crazy person filming now, but I'm gonna ignore that. So with my DPDR experience, whenever I would be walking down the street and I just look around and feel so dissociated or so overwhelmed or so derealized, what my brain wanted me to do was just go home, lock myself in my room, watch a bunch of YouTube videos about existential questions that would reassure me. And that's okay. It's okay that desire to do that desire for comfort is there. That's human. That's my brain looking for the quickest way out. But what I really had to do instead was literally decide to shop even longer if shopping was what I was doing, and just say, all right, then we're gonna feel really dissociated today. And when I was really depressed and I didn't want to go to school and I didn't want to go out and I wanted to stay in bed every single day, then what I really had to do was just say, all right, I'm going to go to school and feel depressed and feel the emotion, but I'm not going to let the emotion stop me. And again, there's a fine line between ignoring emotions and ignoring what you're experiencing and pretending like everything's okay, versus acknowledging how you're feeling, accepting how you're feeling, letting yourself feel how you're feeling, but not letting the emotion dictate your whole life. I made another video a few months ago about a podcast that I watched with David Goggins, in which Dr. Huberman, he's a scientist, explained this area in your brain that literally expands whenever you do things you don't want to do, and it shrinks when you don't do things you don't want to do. So when you listen to that inner voice of, I don't want to do something, and that part of the brain is in charge of our will to live, our sense of willpower, our sense of discipline, our sense of inner strength. So sometimes if you are trapped in a situation, in the sense of like, not trapped physically, but I get so many questions of people asking me, Robin, what do I have to do to get better? Like, that's probably the most asked question. Like, tell me what to do. If you are asking yourself that question, what I want you to try is asking the question, what do I least want to do right now? And then doing it. If you least want to go on a run, then go on a run. If you least want to sit down and meditate, sit down and meditate. If you least want to, I don't know, like, if you least want to play a song, a happy song, and dance to it, play a happy song and dance to it. And your intuition knows which one of these things you know you really should be doing and you don't want to. Of course, you don't want to jump off a bridge and then go jump off a bridge. Of course, don't do that. Think about things that you deep down know are good for you, but that you really are feeling resistance towards, and then have the courage to just do them. And you might not have the courage to go to the extreme measure, but you might have the courage to take that little step, maybe to go outside for 2 seconds and then stare at the sun and go, don't stare at the sun, stare at the sky and then go back. But it's really about feeling, what do I feel is good for me, but I have so much resistance towards, and then lovingly, compassionately encouraging yourself to go do it. Not criticizing yourself or punishing yourself to go do it, but lovely encouraging yourself. I am observing my phone overheating, and that it's literally going slower, so I have to end this video off and say goodbye. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in a few weeks, hopefully. Bye.